Hello friends, and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I wanted to give you an update on my homeschool planner. I actually originally showed you this with a comparison of my one from last year, and if you want to see that video, I'll put it up here. But for 2020, I decided to go with the smaller version, which is like 8 by 5, and it just works really well for me. And I just wanted to give you an update, show you how I'm using it, and exactly what I do with it on most days. If this is your first time here, I am a homeschool mom to a first grader. We love all things books and homeschool and sharing our journey with you. Our hope is that we can share something that will be a help to your family also. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. We'd love it if you joined our team, and that way you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. I will actually put a little clip right here so you can see where I talked about these two planners from Purple Trail. So both last year and this year are by Purple Trail, but they are just different sizes. The planner that I got for 2019 was wonderful. I loved the format. It was just too big. And so I knew that this year I wanted to try the smaller version because in my other planners, I really like an A5 planner, which is very similar to this size. I will give a little disclaimer here that if you had a lot going on, if you have a lot of children, this size might not work for you. But either way, maybe this video can be helpful on how you could use your homeschool planner. The fun thing about Purple Trail is that you can customize the cover, you can put your name on it however you want, you can customize the front and the back. They have really nice quality rings. The covers have always held up really nicely for me, so I definitely have nothing but positive things to say about the quality of Purple Trail. But let's get in here and let me show you what we've got going. In the very front here, I just printed this off of the internet, and it's an attendance log, and I'll zoom it in for you here so you can see. So I was able to put the year here, and I just wrote the months of the year all the way down it. I made myself a little note that it's 175 days at 4 hours per day to be able to complete my school year. I put little blue boxes to cross off the number that might not be associated with that month, and then each day that we have school, I put the number of hours. Now there are days where I do 1 or 2, or we do something. I don't count that. That's just a little here or there, a little extra bonus. These are my actual full days that I'm counting, and so at the end of the month, I just add them up. This gives me an idea of how I'm coming along with my months and if I'm staying on track. And so this is just a great way. It's really easy. That is really the only thing that was lacking from this planner is the attendance log. And you can see in my 2019 how I kept attendance with that with a check sheet, but then I ended up wasting a lot of paper. So with this, I just printed this off, washi taped it in the front. Works wonderful. Then it follows with just my holidays for the year of 2020 and 2021. And then it comes over to the full year spread for 2020 and 2021. Honestly, I really don't use this very much because I would tend to probably use either my phone, or I also use a digital planner, but I use OneNote. And what I do with that is, on the off chance that I lost this, it has all of our read alouds, all of our OutSchool, all of our curriculum that we've used, and then there is a little snippet of every week of what we did, what curriculums we used, and any special things that we did. And I can also add pictures in there. So it's really just a lovely thing for me to have. And on the off chance, again, that this gets lost, it would have something that I would be able to work with. The only thing that I don't do digitally that I maybe should is my hours. And so I probably will just take a picture of this monthly and add that to it just in case something happened to this. I have records of our hours. So we come to the first month here. In August, we were just starting off, so there's very little events, or, I just went and decorated these little pages here. And so I just put little fun holidays, and this is just a little reminder of some things that I saw that I think is really cute and would be fun to do. For the actual month spread, most of the time I don't use this, except with like maybe back to school or last day of school sticker, or I like to put our OutSchool classes on this. OutSchool does have a section where I can like get her transcript. It's nice to quickly be able to look back with that. So here we are, the first day of first grade, and this is how I originally was using the planner and pretty much have stuck with it. Let me show you the side really quick. You can see right here that I named all of the tabs. This is an additional cost that you can do through Purple Trail, but let me tell you, it was so worth it, and I am so glad I did pay that because it is so nice not having to go in and write these every single month. And so what I have here is all about reading and all about spelling, grammar work, math, history and geography, science and health, an elective, and extra. I named these all because I thought it would be so much easier to be able to go in and write, okay, we did sight words, we did all about reading, we did cursive, and so grammar, it's like / handwriting. I almost always put my handwriting on that. And so I just put a little note of what curriculum we did and possibly like what we did exactly. Down here for the extras, if we did a little tea party that really didn't like go in with one of these, but it was something special that we did, or here we went to see horses, we had a Minecraft play day online, and then over here I did go ahead and put my OutSchool on this also. Sometimes we do things on the weekend and I go ahead and add them, even though this is one of those instances where it wouldn't have got put in the front of the calendar, but I like to have a note of it. We're rocking on with our second week of homeschool here, and I'm just putting down all the things that we've been doing. Right here, we were working on Africa and Kenya. This was with our Sassafras Science. And I went ahead, and even though I did Sassafras and Lions, we really got into like the geography of Africa on this day and here. And so days where even though Sassafras is our science curriculum, we broke out so much further with that. And so I want to be sure and note that, hey, we did do this that day. And then over here we have like some electives where we did a cheetah craft. So a lot of times I'll put like our little arts and crafts. Here we did the concrete handprint. This was such a fun day in the life video. We had so much fun this day. And it's also really nice to go back and see everything that we did. So here we are again. I'm just listing everything that we've done. We had some online play groups. We went to the library. I do try to write those in there so that I know. Up until road schooling, almost every Friday was game school. And so we would do 4 days of regular school, and then Friday would be game filled. Since road school, we haven't really gotten back into that rotation yet. I think with like Thanksgiving and now Christmas, it's just a little bit different with the unit studies, and so things aren't quite rolling as smoothly as they did before road school, but it's still going really well. Right here, you can see that I broke out a little bit further. We did a Becca history, but we specifically talked about the flag and some freedoms here. And then again, I've wrote down what it was we were doing with Sassafras there. I put read alouds. This is something I do every single day, but I don't always remember to put it down. And then we've come to our first month completed with homeschool. Each month follows the same thing, where I put our little fun, wacky holidays, any events or something I might put here. And then we have the full calendar, which I didn't use that month. And then we come into here. So I very much do use this on a daily basis. Right here, I'm noting what cursive letter we worked with that day, what page we were working with, as well as getting more detailed into what we're covering for each thing. This day, you can see I put an extra of we played Sneaky Squirrel that day, so we have just a little fun activity that I wanted to make sure that I wrote down. And then right here, this is Ocean Raiders. This is a game, and honestly, now I would be putting that under math, because this is math, and so we very much are doing math, and so I usually now would have that under there. This week, her grandparents came up, and so there was very little that we did. And then we actually ended up getting sick, and so you can see it's very sparse here. This was Mommy Couch Day school. So I was laid up on the couch feeling terrible, and so we would do a little bit of school. Some days I couldn't do anything but read, as you can see, but luckily I started to get better and we were able to get back into things. So again, I'm putting down what we're doing this. And so this day we played with the vortex maker. So this is where I'm talking about we just did something a little out of the ordinary, but it was definitely educational, and I want to remember those things. End of September is coming around, so now we are rolling into October. Here I just have a little note, and this is one of those things that I want to remember, is before we went on road schooling, she was really disheartened with dimensions. She was loving Life of Fred, but I needed to figure out how to continue to use dimensions because I love that. I definitely want to keep doing it, and she loves it too. We just needed to figure out what it was. I noted some different curriculums that I was looking at, as well as some ideas, and that's very helpful to look back and see. And so here we are again, where you can see I'm just putting all of our information. Kid time, story time is something we do almost every morning, and later I go ahead and add that in because she's listening to stories, and so she's definitely getting some reading comprehension going on there. We did a fun little craft on Saturday, so I did want to go ahead and add that in too. Here we are in October, so here we actually ended up taking a Wednesday off. Usually I would put like maybe what was going on there. I don't know what that was now, but as you can see here, I also added a little note here that she had a great attitude this day. So we did dimensions, we did Life of Fred, we did all of our normal, all about reading, we did our activities, and she still had a great day with it. Then we did a little election study right there. And we're finishing out the month of October, and this is where I've started putting kid time, story time, because it is something that we are doing. Here we are starting our road school, so we left at the end of October and we came all the way through to November. We did workbooks and things like that, and so there's some notes that I jotted down in there, but they're very sparse. I didn't count very many days in the month of November. And so here we are, we're trying to kind of get back in the groove of things. You can see that science and history kind of like took a side seat over at the beginning of the month. And as a homeschooler, I'm sure that you know that even a small break sometimes can kind of throw off your groove. She took an out-school class here, and then you can see I'm just breaking it down again where we did a Plymouth Rock study here, and we did tree building. And for the life of me, I can't tell you what this is. I have no idea what tree building is, but it's in there. Then for November, we did our What Was study. Oh, our Thanksgiving study was so fun. I will put that up here. I know we're well past Thanksgiving, but it could give you an idea on something you could do next year, or even an idea of how we build unit studies. I also have a Christmas study. I'll go ahead and link that right here because we are also enjoying that immensely. So we come to December, it's the same thing as we've seen. Right here, I've put that we started rotating Life of Fred and Arithmetic 1 with dimensions, and it really seems to be going great. And it is, and I will put my homeschool update right here. It is our 3-month update where I talk about where we were struggling some with this, what my idea was, and it is working. Some events that were pretty important this month is Zippy and Louie, our elves, arrived. We had a karate camp on OutSchool, and we finished our first book of our All About Reading Level 2. So that was a pretty big milestone that I wanted to put there. We're halfway through that, so that's pretty exciting, and we're doing well. Here you can see I put our OutSchool classes here. December we did a few more than normal, and then I just go right on into here. Something I noticed that happened is All About Spelling got dropped down a box. I have no idea why I started doing that, but I can tell you it's carried through pretty much this whole month of where, even though I have it up here, and maybe it's because it was getting full, I don't know. But anyway, we've got reading eggs that we do. We do reading eggs and math seeds a lot. Sometimes I do forget to write these two down. That is a tablet game that she plays quite often of a morning before we just really get rolling yet. And then here we are with just a few little notes here that dimensions went great. We did double digit, and she had a great attitude. So I think it's great for me to see that it's not always maybe as bad as it feels like, that we've got a lot of good days there. second week of December, we had so much fun with this National Geographic fossil dig. We did this for like 3 or 4 days, had a really, really great time with it. Here we are doing all about reading, dimensions, and math seeds. We did some really good outdoor activities this day. Things like this where we really, really focused on prices at shopping and different things like that. I want to put that in here because even though it's not a curriculum, it's very much learning and something that we worked with. And then I didn't add it here, but I need to. We actually started our Jan Brett unit study here. We actually had started Gingerbread Baby this week. We baked gingerbread here, and then we also decorated them on that day. So I do need to go ahead and add those things. This week we have started the wild reindeer, and so we're doing the Arctic Circle and reindeer study. All of that will go in here. I did remember to write this down. And one thing that I do is I usually leave this open on my desk. And as we complete, I write them down. And so when we do reading eggs of a morning, I write them down. And I also see that I forgot to write down math seeds. She did math seeds on both of these days that she did reading eggs, and I failed to write that down. So I do need to make sure that I write that down. We finished The Magician's Nephew, which I wrote down here, and we started The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I do like to keep those little notes also. It's great for looking back and seeing those sort of things. So here we are in the middle of December. I can't even believe it, actually. It's been the longest, shortest year ever, if that's even possible. And then we'll go back here to the notes section. This is very much like it was when I did my initial showing of this. And then I'm trying to keep up with the chapter books that we're reading. And to be honest, I don't think I'm doing that great with this because I know we've been doing more reading than this. And some of that I keep up with digitally. And so I do a bad job sometimes where I'm doing both. But either way, this is things that I want to read. And so I at least have, this is what I would like to kind of work on this year, and we've read quite a few over on this side. Over here, I try to keep all of the OutSchool courses that she's done. Again, I can go print the transcript, but it's just really nice to see them all. And so, then at the back, I just have a few little stickers that came with my planner, and some stickers that I already had from Purple Trail, and this little pocket that I added. I hope this has been helpful for you. I really, really enjoy this planner. As you can see, it's a great size. The quality is fantastic. You can tell here that I use like a black marker pen almost, and it doesn't bleed through. It's really nice quality. This layout works great for me, and I just like having this to look back on and see exactly what we do. I don't plan. I have an idea of what we're going to do every day. I go to the next lesson. I know we're doing math, we're doing reading, we're doing handwriting. Those 3 things are happening on a school day. Everything else gets added in as we go, and you don't necessarily have to plan out your whole day for it to work, but it is really nice looking back and seeing what you were very successful with and the challenges that you overcame. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, friends.